Here comes the great crew that always works behind the scene. All right. There they are. I don't even see Sherry. She's blackened out and frozen up.
Oh no.
There's Sherry. Yeah. Well, Sherry's at the top, Jessica's in the middle, Robbie's at the bottom. It's like the Brady Bunch show. So good to have you guys. And I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you do on the live stream. I know it just seems to happen so naturally that probably everyone viewing doesn't realize what goes on behind the scenes. But you guys are always hustling, trying to get things, comments, and all this stuff lined up. So thank you guys. Let's start with Robbie. Robbie, you've been doing this a while with us. So what do you like most about participating in the live stream, working behind the scenes?
I like helping other people. My family's a family of teachers, so any way that I can help folks learn more, I get enjoyment from that. So that's probably the one thing I like the most.
That's great. And where do you live? You want to give the exact location, but
we're in South Central Indiana, almost exactly halfway between Indianapolis and Louisville.
Okay, very good. Well, and you bring a lot of expertise with IT, computer stuff to the on board with us here. So thanks a lot, Robbie. That's great.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me help.
Oh yeah, you bet. Yeah. And what's that little icon on your shirt?
We have a important game tomorrow. IU has a football game tomorrow, so
okay, all right.
Little support. I'm only about 40 minutes away, so
there you go. Yeah. And then speaking of support on the shirt sponsorship, look at Jessica sporting a Beak Squad shirt. Hi, Jessica.
I figured it would be good for tonight.
Oh yeah, Jessica. I always have trouble remembering if you're in Virginia or West Virginia. I think it's West Virginia.
I'm in Virginia. I vacation to West Virginia a lot.
Okay, Virginia. Yeah. And you've been with us the longest. You started with us right after we started, I think.
Yeah, it was a few months after y'all first started the live stream is when I jumped in and started helping out.
And in case you don't know, Jessica was so active, still is, but she was so active in the chat. So we noticed that there was this name popping up, Jessica, and she was interacting with our community in the chat. And so Sherry and I said, wow, everybody loves Jessica. Let's talk to her and see if she can come on board and be more part of the live stream. And boy, you've really risen to the cause here. Thanks a lot, Jessica.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's been fun learning with y'all.
Yeah. What do you like most about the live stream? Your part in it?
Oh, man. I guess looking through different people's questions, because a lot of the questions that they have, I have too. So, I really enjoy the question part, and I've been enjoying the wheel.
Oh, yeah. We have to bring the wheel back in, aren't we? Spin the wheel.
Yeah. Especially for those fun bee facts and, the embarrassing David story.
Oh, I know. That's right. I could fill up the whole wheel with embarrassing David stories for sure. Well, thanks, Jessica, for all you do. Merry Christmas.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. And then we have Sherry at the top. Hey, Sherry.
Hello to everybody.
Sherry's been with us from the very beginning, working things. We tried to figure it all out in the beginning by ourselves, and it was hard to do. So great to have Jessica and Robbie with us. So what's the live stream like for you, Sherry?
Well, I really enjoy meeting people. And of course, a lot of these people are people that I talk to during the day, when they write into the business and they have questions and they need help with things. And so I recognize their names from there to there, but it's been fun for me. I mean, I'm really glad we have Jessica and Robbie, because it was a lot for me to try to do by myself. And they have been, excellent volunteers to help with this. They have just been wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thanks, Sherry. You do a lot for the beekeeping community behind the scenes and in the front oftentimes. So all of you, thanks so much. And thanks for being part of the live stream. Everybody giving a big applause to Jessica, Robbie, and Sherry. Yay. Okay, guys. See ya.
Bye.
There's the applause. Yeah, they are great, and it does make the live stream go wonderful to have them on board with us helping out. Let's jump right into the live stream tonight. Got a lot of things to share with you guys. I want to start with a news item that you may have seen recently. It is about the murder hornet. Did you follow the news recently about this murder hornet? Murder hornet is that gigantic hornet that we're all worried about getting into our beehives. In some countries, it just annihilates beehives. And we found it way out west, and we were worried that it was just going to make its way across the U.S. and pose problems to beekeepers. Well, look at this. Turns out that the murder hornets have been eradicated from the U.S. Wow, that is unusual, and that is a first. Why couldn't we have done that with the Varroa destructor mite? But yeah, there have been no confirmed detections of the northern giant hornet for the past 3 years. And they keep looking and keep watching. And so it sounds like they went to work. They got a hold of it quickly. They were able to eradicate it. So that's good news, isn't it? So in case you haven't seen that, you can kind of wipe the sweat off your brow and think, okay, good. We don't have to worry about that. Keep an eye out for it, but they're watching, but that is good news for beekeepers. And by the way, what I want to share today about beekeeping is I want to talk to you about what 2025 might bring to beekeeping, good or bad. And I've got a lot of things I want to share about this. Brace yourself. I want to be open and honest with you of things that I predict that's probably going to happen, things that will change or stay the same in beekeeping in 2025. And I know it affects a lot of you, may not affect some of you that probably just don't care what goes on and you're just doing your own thing in your backyard. But we just got rid of the, the giant murder hornet. And so now what about Tropolaelaps? We have Tropolaelaps working its way closer and closer to the U.S. Fast little moving mite, much more destructive for our bees than the Varroa destructor is. And so all of us are, worried that this Tropolaelaps mite will make it into the U.S. And so that is a big concern. There's a lot of research being done. We actually have researchers over the pond in areas where this Tropolaelaps mite exists right now, trying to gain information on what to do if it does hit the U.S. There are some people who say it is inevitable. And if you look at the track record of the Varroa destructor mite, how fast it just swept across the whole world, it kind of makes us a little bit nervous about Tropolaelaps. Here's my view on Tropolaelaps. I'm taking the position it won't make it into the U.S. I have no reason to think that that it won't, but I'm just hoping, I guess, and I'm just not going to worry about it. Not going to think too far in the future and worry about it. When it happens, we'll just do the best we can, like we have small hay beetle when they first came in to the country, and then we'll deal with them like we did the Varroa destructor mite when they first came into the country. So that's one of the things that we hope in 2025 is not going to happen. Now, one of the things I want to share with you guys, listen up. I think there's a shift afoot in beekeeping, a shift. In 2025, I think we're going to see more and more of a shift in beekeeping. Now, I think there's at the heart of beekeeping, the very core heart of beekeeping, there is a change. And I want us to talk about this change. The core of beekeeping is changing. And when I was preparing to share this with you tonight, I thought about the beekeeping core, the core of beekeeping. Now, I'm making a play on words here. For those of you that have served in the Marines, you're part of the Marine Corps. That's how it's pronounced, the Marine Corps. It's spelled C-O-R-P-S, the Marine Corps, I guess you could say, but it's the Marine Corps. And that means the word C-O-R-P-S means it is a body. It is the unit, the gathering of one common cause of people working together. It's the Marine Corps. And I think that's so cool to think about the beekeeping corps, those in beekeeping that have really given up so much to help their bees be healthier, but also to be a part of a beekeeping community where beekeepers are working together. I see this shift happening. It's happening slowly, and it isn't happening easily, where we're starting to lay down, I guess, our different competitive attitudes, lay down our different opinions, and unite more as a common core of beekeepers that want to make beekeeping better, make it more fulfilling for everyone. I see it happening because I started beekeeping almost 30 years ago. So I've seen trends come and go. And one of the things that I'm excited about that I love seeing is that there are more and more people that are coming around to be more open-minded, and they are being driven, I guess, by collaboration, by unity, not by division, not by competition, not by trying to outdo each other, but by really trying to help out, coming together. So it seems to me as we get into 2025 in beekeeping, I see more and more, I guess, a freedom for beekeepers to have less divisive attitudes. And I see more and more beekeepers that have no point to prove. Back when I started, beekeepers had a lot of points to prove. They had beekeeping attitudes that they had to cram down other people's throats. They had a real harsh view sometimes toward new beekeepers, and it was a little bit rough in spots. But now there's really no single person to win over or to impress. Like, that's more the attitude, I guess. More people are getting into beekeeping, and they're not worried about trying to impress people or win somebody over in beekeeping. And another part of this is that more beekeepers now, and I say particularly new beekeepers coming into beekeeping, they are independent, and they are having a fun time being independent. They may be part of a club, they may be part of some type of community like this on Beak Squad here. But all in all, beekeepers are more independent. And I'm finding this very refreshing. The shift is really because new beekeepers are coming on board into beekeeping, and they're not getting caught up in a herd mentality, like they have to follow everybody over here. And that's one thing that I want to caution all of you about in 2025 is try to maintain your independence in beekeeping. Be part of a community, be part of learning as a group or whatever, a bee club, enjoy your bee conferences, but don't get to the point where you're just following a great big herd of beekeepers off of a cliff. You know what I mean? You got to be independent. You have to be your own independent thinker, your own independent, I guess, researcher, your own independent trial and error person. So I like that. I see more and more beekeepers today that aren't so following the herd mentality, but they're very, very strong in doing their own research and being their own person. Feel free to be your own self. Feel free to use your own techniques. You don't have to follow everybody else's way. You can be yourself. So I think that's really good to see. I think we're seeing less and less people that are following just one way of doing it, or one celebrity beekeeper, or one very, how do I say this? One particular very one particular hive that might be having a better media blitz, and everybody wants to get into that hive because they have this huge media blitz. So, don't fall for everything that is flashed in front of us. Use your own ability to make decisions about being your own independent beekeeper. New beekeepers are becoming much more better educated. In 2025, I think we're going to see a big surge in beekeepers, whether experienced beekeepers or brand new beekeepers, to be much more better educated as they start keeping bees. That's making a huge difference in beekeeping right now. It really is. In 2025, what we're going to notice, we're going to see a lot more individual beekeepers that are more better educated. They know what they're doing. They know how to do their own research. They know how to keep bees healthy. They're equipped with better education, and that's really excited. That's really something we're going to see more and more in 2025. I'm excited about it. I think in 2025 also, compared to previous years, we're seeing many more beekeepers take beekeeping much more seriously. Much more time is being spent learning beekeeping, not just in education, but in the field of experience and management styles and management approaches, how to inspect properly, how to treat for mites, test for mites, how to really, use different pieces of equipment in the hive properly. We're seeing a big improvement, a big shift with more and more beekeepers that are taking this hobby, this sideline, much more seriously and putting more effort into it. And I think that's very exciting. Now, my predictions for 2025 is that beekeepers will be more and more independent, and they will be more and more resourceful on their own. I really see this happening. There a lot of young people are getting into beekeeping, and younger generations today aren't just going to take what everybody's telling them. They're going to do their own research and find out how they can really do a good job keeping bees. That's going to make a big difference, a big improvement in beekeeping. I mean, it's fine if you're following somebody and they know what they're talking about, but we all know, and especially when YouTube started many, many years ago, and it might be the case today, I don't know, but sometimes you can follow things on YouTube, beekeeping or other things, and there are some people on there with very little experience, and you can be misguided. So you really have to be careful and be your own person. And so I think we're seeing a lot of that. Beekeepers are becoming and will become in 2025 much more critical of all the beekeeping equipment and products and treatments and things like that sometimes we're told we can't live without. I think there was a time when I saw a lot of people just jumping and being very gullible at swallowing up anything anybody said, any product anybody offered, any new hive that came out, any new treatment that came out. It had to be just grabbed up instantly. And I think we're seeing, and we will see, more and more people using science, bee biology, and not just depending and jumping on these new fads that some of them are solid, some of them will come and go. But I think more and more beekeepers in 2025 will show that they're more skeptical of things that are just flashed in front of us all the time as the next best thing in beekeeping that we just can't live without. Our bees are going to die if we don't buy this. I think we're going to see much more critical eye among beekeepers. And I think for a while we entered a period when products slammed the beekeeping market. And I can see now that more and more key players in beekeeping are starting to pull back from that a little bit and not just promoting everything that comes out there, but they're trying to be more, I guess, kind of scrutinizing things a little bit more, making sure that it is a good product to promote. It could be helpful for beekeepers, and not just taking everything that hits the market and trying to get people in beekeeping to buy it. And that's particularly important for those of us on YouTube, what we promote on YouTube. I think those of us that have YouTube channels in beekeeping really need to give careful consideration for the things that we promote and we talk about, and that it has our full stamp of approval, that it's a product that we would really want to use ourselves, and we see the benefits of it before we have other people do it. And on YouTube, not in beekeeping, but YouTube in general, if you watch other channels there of other niches, a lot of people promote items just because it's being sponsored, they're given money to. And so you still have to have an eye of scrutiny to make sure that's not what's happening. Going forward too, I believe we'll see more awareness on how to truly judge and evaluate all the new products, all the new treatments, all the new feeding solutions in beekeeping. I think we're going to see more of a critical eye that is going to be shown to all of these things that are hitting the market. And I really think that's a good thing. I really do. If we just buy everything that's presented to us, it doesn't really slow down anyone from just throwing everything at us in beekeeping. We need to make sure that if someone's going to throw something at us and make something new that's going to help our bees, that they're doing their part to really do a good job to make that something that's valuable to us. So in 2025, I'm hoping that we will see more successful colonies and much stronger living colonies as well. That's what I'm really hoping, and I really do predict that's what we're going to see in 2025. I think we're going to see stronger colonies, and here's why. Stronger colonies are because we have stronger beekeepers. This is a combination of the stronger colonies are going to be because we have better beekeepers, because they're better educated, they have better skill sets to keep bees healthy, and they have better management skills. And so we're seeing more and more people that enter beekeeping, take it serious, get their feet into beekeeping much more stronger, and they're doing a better job keeping their bees healthy. Because let's face it, bees aren't going to just be healthy on their own. We have to do our part. So now in 2025, I'm really not predicting any changes in the honeybee itself, Apis mellifera. I don't think we'll see any changes in the honeybees. We are making minute improvements on trying to get bees to be more hygienic against the viral destructor mite. We're trying to raise better queens, I guess, but that is a very, very small, the needle is barely moving on that. And so it still means that beekeepers have to do their part to keep the viral destructor down and not just rely on genetics. We're far away from genetics being our solution right now. But overall, I don't think we're going to see anything really bad happen to our bees in 2025. I don't think we're going to see anything great happen either. So again, this is going to boil down another year in 2025, boiling down for beekeepers keeping their bees healthy, knowing what to do, being educated, having good skills, and that's going to make our bees healthier the better educated and more skilled we are at beekeeping. So 2025 should purr along just like it is now, with a little bit more educated and equipped beekeepers making beekeeping a lot better. But I do want to just circle all the way back from where I started. I think the thing that excites me the most is I see an improvement and advancement in beekeepers collaborating, not being so opinionated, not being so quick to throw somebody under the bus if they disagree. And that's one of the things I've been trying to promote for so many years. I always say that I don't have all the answers. I also say that I just love giving you kind of like the inspiration to do what you want to in beekeeping, that you don't have to do it my way. You don't have to keep bees in a Langstroth hive if you don't want to. Try a different hive. That's your freedom, and I think we should support beekeepers that way. And we're seeing more of that. And that's because more and more beekeepers are entering into beekeeping that have that open-mindedness and a desire to help people. And recently in some of the bee clubs that I've gone to, I've really seen this in the most strongest of ways. In 2 or 3 states close to me where I've spoken at bee clubs, I see how much different bee clubs are today. And I spoke at my own club, my own state association here in Illinois this year. And I saw within my own state association a big change in the attitude and the atmosphere of my own association, with being very a unified, collaborative effort in beekeepers there. It's really good to see. And so I'm excited about that. I really am. And so we have to do our part as beekeepers. We got a lot of work cut out for us. There's a lot of things to keep track of in beekeeping as we do enter into 2025. But I think we're going to have a great year, probably one of the best years we've had so far. As I said in my last live stream, we have seen an improvement in the survival rate among hives, among new beekeepers. And that's really exciting to see that. And most of you said that's because we feel like beekeepers are better educated today as well. So that's exciting, really is. Now I want to talk about Christmas is coming up, and some of you say happy holidays. I know a lot of you celebrate Christmas or the holidays in different ways, different religions and all that. And are any of you, get ready to leave some comments. Are you ready? Are any of you getting some special Christmas gifts related to beekeeping? Have you asked your significant other, your best buddy, your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, have you asked somebody and told them what you want for Christmas? Are you getting a new extractor for Christmas? Are you getting a hot cutting knife for Christmas? Any of you, put in the comments if you think or you want something for Christmas related to beekeeping. What are you getting for beekeeping? Getting a new bee suit? What is it? I always wondered that. I wondered, do beekeepers get beekeeping stuff for Christmas as gifts? Put it in the comments if you're getting something, getting a new hive. Wouldn't that be great to wake up and look under the tree and there's a big hive with a bow on it? That'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Oh, you're giving each other beekeeping suits. Very nice. That's nice. Oh, my beekeeping classes as a beekeeping gift. Good thinking there. I hope you enjoyed those. That'd be a nice gift. Yeah. I'm getting a medium boxes and frames. I can never have enough medium boxes. I can never have enough frames. I don't know where my frames go. I keep adding to them. A honey creamer. Wow. That sounds cool, Jared. Good for you. What else are you guys hoping to get or wanting to get for Christmas? Are you giving anybody a gift? Yes, my wife ordered me a package of bees. All right. Hey, that's pretty good. Wow. I'm getting a honey extractor, cutting knife, and a strainer. Well, there you go. Best of luck with your bees making honey, because you want to put all that to work. Oh, new gloves. Absolutely. That's a great gift. New beekeeping gloves. Jars. Hey, JR. Yeah, beekeeping is always in need of jars to put honey in. Wow. Yeah. 12 new green drone combs and a partridge on a pear tree. Yeah, that's great. That is awesome. Mite Control. I got the ultimate course and some additional deep boxes. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Yeah. Motorized extractor. Yeah, that's great, man. I used to live by the motorized extractor. That thing is so nice. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Screen bottom board with the oil tray ×2. Okay. That's pretty good. Awesome. All right. Well, that's exciting. My wife just bought me a brand new complete double deep and medium super hive. Wow. That's gotta be exciting. All right. I asked for winter be kind boards. Well, I hope Santa's nice to you and brings you one. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I just thought it'd be fun to see what goes on in people's lives when it comes to beekeeping. Seems like all of our hobbies, we always want something related to our hobby. That's always a lot of fun. Yep. So tonight we're going to have a time of questions. And I know a lot of you are dealing with things in your hives or wondering about beekeeping in general. I'm here to do my best to answer your questions. So if you have questions tonight, just go ahead and submit them in the chat and they'll post them up here. We also have some giveaways coming up in just a few minutes, so don't go too far. What kind of questions do you have tonight that you've been wondering about? Hey, Ryan from Australia, I assume. I have 2 hives with unripe honey in the supers while bees are storing excess honey and pollen in the brood boxes, limiting space for the queen to lay. What should I do? We always wrestle with that, like in the spring, like in the early part of your summer, like you're going through. Yeah, you always have that time when bees get over, I guess, productive, and they bring in so much honey and pollen that they don't have as much room to lay anymore. You have to just use your noggin to figure out a way to solve that problem, and you have to give them more space. So you either have to put more supers, hope they go up there, extract some of the honey out, bang out some of the pollen out of the brood box area, but you just have to be creative and find a way to make more empty space in the brood area for the queen to lay. And yeah, you can knock pollen out if they've jammed it packed full of pollen, you can knock it out onto paper, save it for later, and do the same with your nectar. You can knock unripe nectar out real easily. It's like water, and maybe they'll clean that up and she'll start laying. A lot of options there. Oh yeah, it can be challenging. I know. I get that question asked a lot. Hey, Kelly, I know you've used the Keeper's Hive. I would like to know your pros and cons. I have purchased one of the single brood hives and I have it ready for spring. Thanks, in New York. Yeah, I like it. I think it's real easy to work. I was anticipating the Keeper's Hive having the propolis issues of being able to slide frames out from underneath the box above it, but it wasn't really that bad. I will say this, Kelly, that one of the things that I would always forget to do in the summer, you got to take another, I guess a good word is a quiet box is what they're called, but it's just either a medium super, a deep, oh no, I'm sorry, either it's a 5-frame nuke box or it's a deep box, so that when you pull one of the frames out from the Keeper's Hive, you move it over into a quiet box, another box, so that as you keep moving them toward you, you can get them all out. Otherwise, they're going to just pile up in the open space. You got to get them out of there. So usually I forget to take a box out there with me and I set them on the ground beside me and everything. But all in all, they've done really well. They made a lot of honey this year. They were very healthy. And it was a very comfortable box to work. I enjoyed sitting down and working my bees on it. It was great. It really was. Yep. You'll enjoy it. Hey, Ross, how are you doing? When using the Demarest method, can you use a top entrance and use the upper brood boxes to raise a new queen and then split? Would your candy boards work as that entrance? Candy boards are going to be used in the wintertime. I think by the time I do the Demarest method, I don't think I would use a winter be kind. I would not. I would be done with that by then. As far as the upper entrance goes, listen, one of the reasons I don't talk tremendously about the Demarest method is because it is very, very complex, I guess is a good word. Not really complex, but it has a lot of moving parts to it. I made a video. It's on my YouTube channel, and I teach you guys how to use this method for swarm control. It works good in the spring. But I think you need to follow Mr. Demarest's method perfectly. I really do. I don't think you should alter it at all. And that's when I made my video and I showed you how to do it exactly his way. However, the complexity comes because you can actually manipulate it once you kind of get the 2 deeps up there and you got your 2 queen excluders on there. You can manipulate it however you want to. If you want to raise queens in there, you could pull that off. If you wanted to raise more honey in there, you could pull that off. If you wanted to split that hive, you could pull that off. So it isn't a one size fits all. There's a lot of variations of what you can do once you save it from swarming and you have a bunch of bees up there. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to put an empty candy board up there to me because you need a queen excluder. You need bees to pass through into different boxes. The candy board is going to break that off. But if you're using it at the very, very, very top, you could use it if you needed an upper entrance. Yep. It's not an easy task. Hey, Dave. Hi, David. Merry Christmas to another David. What's the right time to add a second brood box? So I usually say that when your first brood box is about 5 to 7 frames full of bees and comb, they've drawn out the wax, that's a good time to add that second box. Bait it with one of the frames in the middle with eggs on it, move that up to the top box and move your empty frame, that's from the top box down below. That'll force your bees to get up into it a lot quicker. So you can bait it with get the nurse bees moving up there. Yep. 5 to 7 frames, add second box, no matter it's a honey super or a deep. Hey, Chris, my mentor told me today that my hives will lay a bunch of brood after solstice. Is that a thing? Do you mean winter solstice? So let's see. I assume you're talking about in the winter. And so, yeah, bees don't typically lay a bunch of brood in the wintertime. They do keep laying about a hand size amount of brood on some combs throughout the winter. They do raise brood in the wintertime. Some people think bees don't raise brood in the winter, but they do. And they will raise a lot of bees if you feed them in the wintertime. If you give them a winter bee kind board, they're going to raise a lot of brood, because that's what bees do. Bees want to raise brood. They want to raise more workforce. And if they can't do it without food, they'll back off from it. The more you feed them, the more they lay. Absolutely. Thank you guys for your donations tonight. Appreciate it so much. Take a few more questions and we'll have a giveaway here. What does it mean when your bees die or abscond with food stores and nothing robs the full frames? Yeah, I've wondered that too. I can't say that I know 100% the answer to this, but I'll give you my speculations about this. And when your bees die or they abscond and the food stores sit in there and nobody comes and robs it and they're all full of frames, I think it means that robber bees just never found it. That for some reason, robber bees just never located all that full frames of honey in there. Are you seeing bees going in and out? I don't think bees are going in there and rejecting it, are they? They've just not discovered it. Yeah, I've seen that so many times. Yeah. Hey, Mike, question. Is a 10-frame hive better than an 8-frame for winter? Oh, yeah. I don't think it matters one bit. I really don't. 8-frame hives will overwinter just as successfully as a 10-frame hive. It's just 2 frames different. Yeah, overwinter survival all depends on the quality of your queen in the previous season before winter, how well she laid bees, winter physiology. It all depends on the food sources in the hive. And most importantly, it depends on the mite counts that spread viruses. What is the viral load in that hive in the wintertime? So yeah, the frame numbers don't make any difference. Hey, Chris, if using a candy board and the temperature goes above freezing, will this hurt the hive? I had a candy board on some of the hives. When I checked, it was all over the frames and the bee is not there. No, it won't hurt anything. There's only if you notice, the candy boards sit very close to the top of the frames. So it's not like they're, falling a great distance. They're falling less than 1/4 of an inch usually. And the bees oftentimes will break it loose and cause it to go down into the cluster for better consumption. But no, I don't see any problem with that at all. And by the way, with the candy boards, anytime you feed, sometimes there's candy that the bees don't eat because we make our winter bee kind so that there's a lot of moisture in there. And the bees will go right at slurping up all that moisture in that candy board, which is going to inevitably leave some of it to be harder candy that will be left behind. That's just part of the winter bee kind board. Not a lot. Sometimes I've seen them eat it all. Sometimes they take the hard candy out, but they're mainly slurping up most of the winter bee kind board. Hey, Scott, I have 1 hive in remote area of South Dakota, 4 more at my home. Nearest hives per our state aerial map to remote one are 5 miles away. Concerned drones are too few and remote queens can't mate successfully. Okay, Scott, understood. You're wanting to raise queens, but you don't know if there's going to be a drone congregation area close enough. Here's how you accomplish that. Try it. Just try it. You might be surprised because you might be looking at your aerial map and not seeing hives. You might not seeing bees and trees. Try it and see what kind of luck you have, and then you'll know for sure. You got to give it a try. Hey, Mark, is there any monthly subscription magazine for beekeeping? Yay, of course there is. I actually write a column each month for bee culture. We had that as a giveaway for our classes one time. But Bee Culture magazine, it is the oldest beekeeping magazine in the beekeeping culture of beekeeping. Yeah, it's really great. Jerry Hayes is the editor of Bee Culture magazine. I love working for them or with them. I talk to Jerry regularly. He's a great guy. If you don't know Jerry Hayes, he's just a superb beekeeping person in the beekeeping world. And it's a privilege to be working with Jerry and his staff writing an article each month for them. A lot of us write articles. I think there might be 12 of us, but it has been around since the 1800s. American Bee Journal is another one out of kind of associated with Date Ant, and it's been around for a long time too. And I've written articles for the American Bee Journal magazine. Those two are the big hitters. I apologize, I don't know some of the other ones right now, but those are the two big hitters. Just Google it. Google Bee Culture magazine or American Bee Journal, and you'll get tons of them. There's so much information in those magazines that you'll be overwhelmed reading them every month. Hi, David. I ordered entrance reducers. The 1 inch and 3 inch openings are only 2/8 of an inch. A quarter deep. Is that enough space for the bees to go through? Boy, 2/8. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, isn't that a fourth? Yeah. A quarter inch bees will go through. That's why you can't use quarter inch hardware cloths. You have to use 1/8 hardware cloths because bees go through 1/4 of an inch. So, yeah, that's plenty enough space. Absolutely. Don't worry about it. It'll work good. Yes. Very good questions tonight. Hey, Sean, will winter patties absorb condensation like your candy boards from Winter Be Kind candy boards? I don't think so. They'll absorb a little bit, but most of the time back in the days when I was trying those, they produced a lot of moisture. They were wet when I put them on there sometimes in the wintertime. So they might absorb a little bit. Are you talking about candy patties or pollen patties? They do make sugar patties, and I guess if you have a sugar patty that's more like fondant, it will absorb some of it. It depends on how it's made. A lot of fondant is made from powdered sugar, and I've always heard bees don't do great with powdered sugar. We treat them, we use powdered sugar to dust mites off. But I like the idea. Everything a bee eats, they eat through a straw. I always like to say that. And some people argue, no, they chomp down on pollen patties. Oh, okay. Well, they get it really wet first. And because they don't have teeth, they don't chew steaks like we do. And their preferred method is to use their proboscis, which is kind of like a straw. And they slurp up both their protein, which is pollen grains, and their honey or nectar through their proboscis. So they prefer to eat that way rather than chomp down on things. Yeah. Good questions tonight. Wow. I haven't had a question yet tonight that I'd have scratched my head at. We're on the rainy side of Washington State. By the way, I get a lot of questions from beekeepers in the rainy side of Washington State, and usually they're always telling me how wet and moist it is. 120 inches of rain a year. I haven't had that much in 10 years. Oh, gosh. I don't think we had to haul any water this year. We got enough rains to our well, but it was a dry year. How do we deal with that much rain? Well, that is a problem, and bees like to be dry. They do like to be dry. And I think you'll just have to make sure that your hives are in a sunny place. So, they're not don't put them in a place where it retains moisture, on a bed of leaves or something under trees. Keep them in a driest place as you can. That's about all you can do, really. And if you use quilt boxes, it might even work reverse for you, because sometimes the quilt boxes hang outside the hive. Well, if it's so moist all the time, the quilt hanging out is pulling moisture into the hive. It is a struggle. I don't have a good solution on how to dry your ambient moisture level out of your region. That's tough. Bees will adapt. They have the ability to dry stuff out inside there. They actually keep their humidity level where they want it in the hive. I've ran studies on that. It's pretty interesting. Hey, Michael Scott. I checked my 2 hives 5 weeks ago and didn't see any eggs or brood, and it turned cold before I could combine. Should I combine the first chance or wait for spring? Central Indiana. Wow, a good one, Mike. You could kind of go either route. Right now, it's turning cold again. You might want to hold course. Hope for the best. Grab a hold of the helm of the ship and steady as she goes. Keep her locked on to spring. Don't go right or left. Let's make it to spring and see how it goes. Combining now could be kind of risky, I think, especially if it gets cold and they cluster at night. Yeah. Should always combine when it's kind of warm and they can work that out. Combining is when you take usually a weak hive and put it together with a strong hive through newspaper separating them and they'll lead through the newspaper really quick. Hey, Leslie, I have a flow hive and have found that standard Langstroth hive boxes don't usually fit nicely under the lid. Are you able to use a Winter Be Kind board with your flow hive? Yeah, my flow hive does. It's I have a 7 framer, it's called, I think. Now, 7 frame means that there's 7 really wide flow hive frames at the top. But the bottom boxes, in fact, I didn't even buy a second flow hive box. I just used a Langstroth box. It was only off by about 1/8 of an inch on each side, so it didn't matter. So everything works good for me on my fittings. That's strange, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe you bought a slightly different size. Oh, by the way, our Winter Be Kinds come in 2 sizes, okay? They come in an 8 frame and they come in a 10 frame. Some of you get those confused when you order them. So some people run 8 frames high, and that's usually what, 13 and an 1/8 across the front, or a quarter maybe. And then the 10 frame hive is 16 and a quarter across the front. So some people ask me, believe it or not, I've been asked, how do I know the difference between a 10 frame hive and an 8 frame hive? I try to be helpful and not sarcastic, but the difference is 2 frame width. Okay. What can you say, right? It's 2 frames difference, but they are different. Not in long ways, not front to back. They're the same 19 7/8 inches, typical Langstroth measurement, but side to side, they're about 3 inches different. So if you order a Winter Be Kind, make sure you order the correct one. And we're going to be giving away, we'll take a minute right now, and we're going to give away a Winter Be Kind, and it's for a 10 frame hive. I have it sitting right here with me. It's bagged up, ready to go. Look at that. Look at that moisture. Ready for the bees to start slurping that up. If you give bees just hard candy, I don't think they're going to do much with it unless unless you live in Washington and they can get a lot of moisture in there. But yeah, so we'll start giving away a Winter Be Kind 10 frame. 10 frames won't fit on an 8 frame unless you're good at woodworking and you can build something to make it fit, but it's going to be not going to work. We do sell both. Anyway, this is for an 8 frame. All you have to do is leave a comment, hashtag WBK, all lowercase. And I think my daughter, years and years ago, Carrie, actually gave it that name because she felt like winter was so hard on our bees. And she thought if we created a product where we could feed our bees, absorb the moisture, and provide a place for them to go potty out the top and all that stuff, that winter would be kind for our bees. So we named it Winter Be Kind. A lot of you call it a Honey Be Kind. It's not a Honey Be Kind. If you order a Honey Be Kind, I don't know what you're going to get. You got to order a Winter Be Kind. These aren't anything new. We have made these and sold these for, I don't know how long. I'm going to just take a chance and say 15 years or so, maybe 10 or 15 years. So beekeepers love them. Yeah. Your bees will love them too. It's going to take probably 3 or 4 all winter long to get through a harsh winter. WBK, somebody used all caps. Try it again and use all lowercase. Make it match what's on the screen, and you'll have a better chance at winning. All lowercase. That's right. All lowercase. If you try to put your name in there 17 times, won't help you any. It's all computerized. It's going to see you as one entry. All right, let's see who's going to win the Winter Be Kind today. Robbie's standing by at our game portion of the show to spin the wheel and see who wins the game on the Winter Be Kind. All right, let's see who will make it today. By the way, the winner, you'll see a banner below and it have your name on, or it won't have your name on it, but it have our email address, so you can email us at beaksquadwinter@gmail.com. So when you win, be sure and email us within 24 hours so we can get that shipped right out to you. By the way, thanks so much, guys, for being on the live stream. We got a big crowd tonight. Thank you all for being here. I'm humbled. Big crowd. Love you guys. Appreciate you much. You guys are the best. All right, Robbie, let's get her done. WBK. Who's going to win? All right, I'm interested in who's going to win. Oh, Zoe Murray. There you go. Is that Zoe or Zoe? Well, you're the winner, so be sure to email us within 24 hours at beaksquadwinter@gmail.com. and we'll get that shipped right out to you, and you can put it on your hive. Now, you don't have to wait until perfect weather to put these on the hive. You're not opening up your hive more than 30 seconds, 15 seconds to put these on. You put it directly candy down facing the bees, directly on the upper box of your hive. If you have an inner cover with a hole in it, take that off, save it for summer, and then put your top cover back on top of the winter bee kind and put something heavy on top of there. Our winter bee kinds have a little hole in them, a tiny little entrance for a tiny little bit of ventilation and for the bees to potty if they need to. Put that facing the front of your hive. That will make it easier in the spring for bees to orientate and all that stuff. So congratulations. That's good. Sherry, did we just have one to give away today? Or okay, yep, just one tonight to give away. All right, well, let's jump right back into some more questions. We've got time to hit some more questions tonight. By the way, I've got a video coming out tomorrow where I sit down in my green chair, raw, unedited, and answer more questions from my YouTube channel and leftover questions that I may not get to here tonight. Hey, Rich Hargrove. Any drawbacks to have 3 brood boxes if the colony is healthy, just a bigger colony to maintain, higher after adding multiple supers, or better easy to stay with 2 brood boxes? Rich, as I said earlier, I think you have the freedom to do what you want to. I really do. I don't want to tell you to use only 2, use only 3. You know what? I can tell you my experience. I have successfully done 2 and 3. Now, I have not really seen that much of a difference when I use 3, because, you know, the idea of having 20 children to have more hands to help you work around, you know, if you're a farmer and you have 20 children, you think, oh, good, I'll get more work out of my 20 kids. Well, guess what? You got a lot of work taking care of 20 kids. They eat more food. You got 20 times the amount of food. You're going to have 20 times the amount of pigs to slaughter, 20 times the amount of cows to, you know what I mean? Same with bees. If you have 3 deeps, they're going to raise more brood, and they're going to require more food, and they're going to have more mites because there's more brood and so on. So it's just a bigger of what is small. So, you know, you could have more honey, but who knows? Yeah. But try it. I mean, I think it's good for beekeepers to give it a go and say, well, I'm going to try 3 on one of my hives, see if it's any different. Hey, Mark, how are you? What are you thinking for Christmas, David? Biking items, bee research items, or, oh, I got to tell you, I love solar energy. I really do. I live out in the country, and we've always tried to have, you know, we first moved out here, we didn't have good electricity, power going out all the time. One time a storm rolled through, we were without power for a week. I had a gas generator, and it's so hard to keep them workable and all. So I'm trying to get more off grid. So I love solar. I want more panels. I want more batteries. Oh, that's one thing. Now I'm really set for biking. I don't need anything for my bike. I'm not one of these guys that, you know, has to have everything decked out perfectly, but my bike is great. I rode it the other day. Boy, it was sloppy, but I enjoy biking. But I don't know, when you get my age, my kids hate it because they said dad has everything he wants. What are we going to get my dad? And I was the same way. I never knew what to get my dad. Thanks for asking, though. That's a good question. All right. Any final questions on your mind? What do you guys got going on? What kind of questions? Somebody said they had solar panels on my roof. Yeah. Oh, yeah. David and Sherry live on the 26th. Yes, we will be live on the 26th. And I think we asked Rob, I wish you guys could watch us after the live stream ends, because after the live stream is over, then you guys, you know, go bye-bye, and the 4 of us just chat about how it went. We talk about things. It'd be fun just to leave that going sometime. But anyway, last week we talked about, hey, are we going to get together on 26? Sherry said, we don't want Robbie and Jessica to feel like they have to the day after Christmas. And both of them said, no, I'll be there. So I think they will be there. I'm not sure. I think that's how I remember it. So we're going to be here on the live stream. I realize a lot of you are still heavy duty Christmas activities on the 26th. And if you can't make it, we'll miss you for sure. Yeah. We are almost out of time. We're going to take this last question. If you use a candy board and the temperature goes above freezing, will this hurt the hive? I had some hives when I checked it. Oh, I think I've already answered that from Chris. I did answer that. Yep. All right, let's wrap it up here. I want to give a shout out to all of you that donated during the live stream tonight. So grateful. If you don't want to donate here, you can always go to honeybeesonline.com, our website. And that's where you can order the winter bee kinds, or you can leave a live stream donation. I appreciate it. It does take a pretty penny to make the merry-go-round on the live stream. So we appreciate you helping us that way. So thank you all for supporting it tonight. And I wanted to say thank you guys. And I hope you do have happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We'll be thinking about you. Who knows? Maybe I'll make another fireplace video. You guys really liked my Thanksgiving fireplace video. Might make another one. And so I see so many of you in the chat, and I recognize your names and everything. And I just want to say, I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You're part of my family. I wish we could get together in person. You're the greatest. And I've enjoyed so much having you on the live stream tonight. I will be making my green chair video tomorrow, so be sure and check that out. And be sure and check out all the videos that I've been making each week. I'm working very hard for you guys. I'm pumping out videos. I've been making YouTube videos for 16 years on beekeeping, and I'm not giving up anytime soon. And I'm incorporating more coffee time because so many say, I want more coffee time, where I talk about more life principles. So I'll be doing more of that. Thank you, Jessica, Sherry, and Robbie. Thank you guys for being here. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and enjoy your weekends. We'll see you next time.